All right, good morning, class. This is Monday morning, and welcome to week number 2. That is right, week number 2 of your reference class, which is 7314. As always, I am your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin. And in today's check-in video, what we're going to do is we are just going to make sure you all know how to use the Journal Finder feature, and you all are aware of interlibrary loan. Now, having said that, one thing that I am going to have to do is I am going to try to schedule your partners this week, probably later toward this week because I have a writing deadline. But yes, later this week, probably around Friday, I'm going to try to get your partners set up for the virtual reference practice assignment. So if you have not done your introduction post if you have not done your introduction post on the introduction prompt for the class in the discussions area, please go ahead and do that, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to make sure that I match you with somebody in your time zone so that scheduling is a little easier, okay? So please make sure that you do the introduction post. Also, please make sure you don't forget about the semester-long project, which is also the final exam. So I may be using those terms interchangeably, but yeah, the semester-long project, I'm going to be reminding you about that periodically throughout the semester. Please do not forget that that is one thing that you're going to be responsible for. Okay. Now, before we dive into interlibrary loan and the Journal Finder feature from the library, what we need to do is I do want to just take a moment to just look at this week's discussion prompt. So discussion 2 is a little different because discussion number 2 actually takes place over the course of 2 weeks. So your final on discussion 2 won't be due until September the 12th. But what you're going to have to do is, unlike most of your discussion prompts, this time around, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have a total of at least 3 posts, because you're going to post at least 2 of your self-studies over a 2-week period, and you'll reply to at least one of your classmates. And for the most part, in the past, my students have done 1 post in week 2 and 1 post in week 3. But if you want to do 2 in week 2 or 2 in week 3, that is perfectly fine. But most of my students, they did 1 each week, and that way they could kind of line up their posts with the readings that they read for that particular week, because the readings that you'll have in week 2 and in week 3 are both with the purpose of trying to teach you about information theory or information seeking behavior theory and that sort of thing, which is what this discussion prompt is related to, what it's assessing. Okay, so I hope all that makes sense. Weeks 2 and 3 introduce you to theories of information seeking. The articles are heavily research-based. Read them for the overarching theoretical concepts, i.e. individual versus collaborative searching, consumer health information seekers, so forth and so on. Concepts of information seeking are important to reference services because this gives us additional insight into our patrons, who are information end users. During both weeks, pay attention to your own information-seeking behaviors. Carry around a piece of paper for 2 days. Track it on your smartphones, whatever the case may be. And record several instances of seeking information from the time you have an information need to fulfill through the end, when it is met or unmet. Relate your behavior to both information-seeking models from the class and readings. What did you learn? So again, post at least 2 of your self-studies over the 2-week period and reply to at least 1 of your classmates for a total of 3 posts. Refer to the readings and course content for full credit in your responses. Please note that you should have at least 1 up by February 5th. I have that language in there really just to protect myself, but I am not going to count off if you do not have 1 by September 5th. That's just, again, I would prefer you do 1 each week so that you can line them up with the readings. Canvas is actually showing the due date as September 12th, which is good. So actually, let me go ahead and edit that, which would be just taking that out. Okay. So yeah, Canvas fixed it, or rather I fixed it with the September 12th due date. So there you go. So that is this week's discussion prompt. Also, again, let me go into the student view here. And so you should be looking at the discussions. I'm sorry. So you should be looking at the discussions, and you should, I've been reading these, by the way. The reason they have the unread is because it's doing unread from the student view. All right. So yes, please do your introduction post, because this is what I'm going to be looking at to try to match you with somebody from your time zone. So try your best to let us know where you are, where I would find you, and that way I can look at your time zone and try to get you matched up with somebody from your time zone. And again, that is for the virtual reference assignment is what I'm going to be partnering you all up for. So you can look for virtual reference practice and paper. And I did mention this very briefly on Tuesday night, but this is what you will be having a partner for, and I will be getting your partner assignments to you shortly. Okay. Now, let's take a look at some of these library resources and just make sure you know how to use them. It's very rare for those of you who've had me in classes before. You already know this. It's pretty rare for me to have a video under, really under 30 minutes, much less 25. But I should be able to explain this within 20 minutes, so we should be done within 25 minutes. And don't forget, oh, I've got to teach you all how to speed the videos up. Okay. All right. Hold on one moment. Okay, yeah, I totally forgot that because we had a live session during the first week. I have not taught y'all how to speed a video up. I have taught that to my other course, to my academic libraries course. But let me teach you all that right now. I'm a Southerner and I talk slow. So because of that, I teach people how to speed my videos up in YouTube. In that way, really, even if you speed it up to 1.5, because I talk so slow, generally that will allow you to hear and understand everything that I am saying. So let's get into that. So here is a YouTube video. And now it's playing. And what you can do to speed it up is you can go to this little settings icon here that says settings. And you see it's going at a normal speed right now. You can go to that settings. Go to playback speed, and you can usually speed me up to 1.5. Now you can see that it's sped up a little bit, and you get through this video faster. Okay. So that is how you speed up a YouTube video, and I would recommend, again, that you do that when you are listening to my videos, because I talk slowly, so that is a way to get through. Okay, let's look at Journal Finder in the library. All right, now from here on out, you are going to hear some Barney in the background, and you are probably going to hear a baby every now and then because my 12-month-old has awakened from her nap. And so she will be kind of joining us, at least in spirit. I will probably not put her on camera, but she will be responding to things that I say because that's what she does. And hopefully our friend Barney, the purple dinosaur, will keep her entertained. But having said that, let's make me small here. So let's say you are at our library homepage, which is library.missouri.edu. All right. And let's say that, all right, so let's say that you come across an article that you don't have access to, but you saw the citation of it somewhere or something like that. By the way, the library homepage, for those of you who don't know, is library.missouri.edu. So you are going to be spending a lot of time on this website, this library website during your time in the program. But let's say, so I pulled this up and it's an abstract. So let's say that now for this one, I can probably just click here to read the full text. Actually, let me see if I can. Oh no, it's got this sort of thing going on. Actually, you can access through your institution. But if you don't see that option, then I'm going to show you another way to get this article. Okay. So what we have is the article, A Synthesis on Cave-Dwelling Spiders in Europe. And this is from the Journal of Zoological Systems and Evolutionary Research. Again, that's the Journal of Zoological Systematics, and Evolutionary Research. So let's say that we wanted to actually pull up this video. Let's say that we actually wanted to pull up this article so that we could, do some research. And let's say that this article wasn't available to us over the web instantaneously, like it was paywalled, like you see here. And let's say in addition to this paywall, you did not have this button here, which would just allow you to log on. So what you can do is make sure that you try to find your volume and issue information here, which in this case is volume 56, issue 3. I'm struggling today. Volumes 56, issue number 3. So let's go back to the library homepage. And if you wanted to find this, of course, you could do the aggregate search here, but the aggregate search a lot of times will return results that are not relevant, will return too many results, and so forth and so on. So Discover, which is an aggregate search, I tend to avoid using that right away if I know that I need a specific article. So you can go to specific article or specific journal. I'm going to go to specific journal and show you how this works. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, again, grab the name of your publication, Journal of Zoological Systematics and Evolutionary Research. Journal of Zoological Systematics and Evolutionary Research. And you click search. And you will see these options for full text access. Now, this article was published in 2018, August 2018 to be specific. So we are going to want to select an option that has 2018 within the range. And as you can see, this one ends in 2016, this one ends in 2003. This one looks like it ends in 2020. So let's go with Academic Search Premier. There'll be a little login screen. You log in. And then you are brought to this landing page for the journal in EBSCO. And what you can do is, again, look for your year. 2018 was when it was published. And we have volume 56, issue 3. I will double check. Yes, volume 56, issue number 3. So we're going to click into this one. And then we are going to see if we've got page numbers, which in this case we do. If you don't have page numbers, you just kind of have to scroll down a lot of times so you find the article you need. But in this case, we have our page numbers, so we have a good idea of how far we need to scroll. So it starts on page 301, and it's right there, 301 to 316. And you can either do the HTML or the PDF full text download, either one. Click it. It'll load. And there you go. You've got the full text. Okay? Okay, now just so you know, things are actually pretty similar when you are trying to use the specific article feature. It's actually pretty similar. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Again, we've got our specific article title, A Synthesis on Cave-Dwelling Spiders in Europe from 2018. So this time, I'm back at the library homepage, which is library.missouri.edu. And let's say that this time I go for specific article. All right. My journal, again, is Journal of Zoological Systematics and Evolutionary Research. We were doing volume 56, issue number 3, page 301, and that was 2018. All right. So then if I click search here, it's going to do this. Mine never actually pop up in this window, so I always have to open up a new one, or a new tab at least. And there you go. Brought me right to it. All right, so those are the two ways to get into things. And then let's do one more thing, and that comes to interlibrary loan. Hold on one moment. Okay, so I took a little break there while I found an example article, and I have found one. So let's say, for instance, I'm on Google Scholar, but I could also be looking at a works cited page or a references page or whatever the case may be. But let's say that I am on something, okay, and I see an article. In this case, I'll be in Google Scholar. Let's say that I wanted this one, I don't even know how to say that word, but variations of clinical manifestations provoked by Latrodectus species of spiders from 1983 in the journal Toxicon. All right. That actually sounds like a pretty cool journal name, Toxicon. So I click this and I only have the abstract. I don't have access to the full text. So let's say that I wanted to try to find this journal, Toxicon, or try to find this specific article. And let's say I type in Toxicon. Okay. Now, what they have are paper copies. So let's say you live not anywhere near Columbia. And these paper copies just ain't going to do it for you, because for you, you need something delivered to you electronically because you live in Oregon or you live in New York or whatever the case may be. I have students all over. So let's say that this Merlin for paper copies option that would cover the date range, because that article is from 1983. 1983. So this would be in the date range, but these are only for paper copies, 1962 to 2004. So we're going to have to do something different in order to get this information here. And what we are going to do is we are going to use a feature called interlibrary loan. So you could either request an article here, or you could go to the home page. Either way, the library homepage, that is. So we'll go back to the library homepage. And we will do request an item. That's how you use interlibrary loan. So rather than going out and buying something, particularly if it's an electronic resource, which you should probably be doing is, sorry, I don't know what just happened there, but instead of just going out and buying something, if you can access it through interlibrary loan, you've already paid to use interlibrary loan. That's part of your tuition. I apologize. It's just going to be one of those days, I guess. But yes, so rather than paying for something that you don't have immediate access to, try interlibrary loan. You've already paid for it through your tuition. Go to request an item right here with the quick links. And then I would go over here, the interlibrary loan service. You can look at these sorts of things and get help from the librarians if you want to try to explore one of these. But I would, again, go to interlibrary loan service, log in. And that's my login information there. And you will be brought here. And then what you can do in order to try to obtain this article is you could, and if you needed to request a book or ebook, you would select, or a thesis or dissertation, you would select the proper option there. In my case, I am looking for an article, so I'm going to do new request for an article. And then I just fill out the fields. I definitely need to fill out the fields with the asterisk. They are required. So the title of the journal is Toxicon. Whoops, probably should have clicked that. Toxicon. I can put that right there. Year, 1983. Inclusive pages. We will find those 457 through 466. Put that right there. It does help to have volume and issue information when you can supply it. So in this case, it's 21.4. 21.4. All right. And then we need an article title, and I'm just going to copy and paste this. And then not wanted after date. Usually interlibrary loan requests are fulfilled within 3 business days, but I would say that usually you can give them 2 weeks and they will fulfill the request. Usually, again, it takes only 3 days, but after about, if they aren't able to find it by the time that you, by the date that you put here, then it's just automatically going to cancel. So you probably want to give them longer than the 3 days that it usually takes. And you probably want to give about 2 weeks, okay? Unless it's a book that they're trying to pull from somewhere that's going to really, really take some time to get. But with journal articles, usually within about 2 weeks, that's the highest that it's going to go. And if they can't get it in 2 weeks, then they're probably not going to be able to get it anyway. And then there are other options that if you want to supply, you can. For instance, definitely the author can be pretty helpful. So I don't know how to pronounce this author's name, but I'm just going to plug that right in there. And there you go. Just submit request. And now I've got outstanding requests here, and it's going to await processing, and I will get updates as things are completed with this request. And when the request is actually fulfilled and they can give me the article, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a download link sent to my email address, and I will access that email, download the article, and then I will have the article. And you can keep these articles forever that you get on interlibrary loan. There are some things that have lending limits, including physical materials, of course. But with your journal articles, typically once you download them, they're yours to keep forever. All right, so those are some things that may be helpful for you as you are doing research in this or other classes in the program. We are going to leave it right there because, again, I wanted to keep this one under 25 minutes. This might be the last time I keep one under 25 minutes, so be prepared for that too. But having said that, yeah, let's go ahead and sign off. I am Dr. Jace, and please, if you do not have the vaccine, continue to quarantine in place or at least wear a mask. I am Dr. Jace, peace and grace, and I am out.